Hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here. This episode. Oh man, this episode. Uh, this episode was amazing. Like, it's not enough that, we get to see Betty, like, actually hear Betty, find out who Betty is really. Um, I mean, there's so many cameos and callbacks in other areas that it's just where do you even begin? I mean, the biggest callback is we finally know what was going on with the whole Wizards Only Fools episode, where we see all these wizards we've met in the series and sacrificing and summoning something, and here we find out what it is. Um, and I mean, we see them. We see like the guy from Death and Bloom, the devil or Death or whatever you call him. We see Marcy's old boyfriend. We see little Marcy again. We see Marceline's Hambo. We see just a lot of cameos. We see the Grandmaster Wizard guy from Wizard Battle. There's a lot of cameos and a lot of kind of references and stuff, and it's cool. Um, it's really cool, and it's really cool to see Betty as a character because Betty's awesome. Like, I don't really know if it makes entire sense that she just comes into this magical world and all of a sudden exactly knows what to do. But I guess by the point that Simon was crazy enough and starting to turn to the Ice King enough that she would want to leave, there's some siren going off. There was enough magic in the world that she, or at least she was studying magic or whatever, I guess. But anyway, she seemed to really know what to do, and her dedication and devotion was just really awesome. Um, yeah, I don't know if it's a stable time loop the way she comes through the portal. I guess it is. I guess it stabilizes itself. It only makes sense. It only makes sense if it happens, but time travel. But man, was this just and Simon, and we got to see Simon. Not only did we get to see Betty, but we got to see non-Ice King Simon, and it's like for a few minutes there, you actually question like, are they actually gonna is the Ice King actually going to stop being the Ice King? Like, is he going to be Simon full time? Honestly, I would like that for the character. I think the Ice King's kind of played his course as the Princess Napper, generic bad guy that's pretty ineffectual. I think it'd be cool to have a run of the series where Simon is just Simon. But I don't know if they'd do that. And I don't. That's fine if they didn't want to do that. But Betty's there, and Betty's still around. I mean, man, like, if this wasn't the season finale, are you sure? I mean, Finn and Jake didn't do much. I guess that's a complaint with the episode, but really, who cares? There's so many other cool things about this episode, and it moves at a really fast pace too. It's one of those episodes that's just it's there and gone before you can even blink. Oh man, and it's so sweet to get to see Marceline and Simon reunite for real. I mean, this episode was the culmination of a lot of other episodes, and yet it doesn't feel like it's over either. It feels like there's still a lot more of this story to play out. There's a lot more to come. It's nowhere near being over. And can you believe it? Like, there's all of this, and it has nothing to do with Finn or Jake. Like, how great is that? That this show is so good at storytelling and good at developing these side characters that we don't, you probably wouldn't even notice that Finn and Jake did nothing. I say it was a complaint, but really, is it? Like, who cares? I mean, Finn and Jake are great. I like seeing them, but, I mean, this episode takes Simon and Betty, two characters who we've seen very little of Simon. Simon as a Simon appears in, like, Holly Jolly Secrets and like, one or two other episodes, and Betty's never had any sort of actual appearance outside of, like, pictures and stuff. So to take these two relatively unknown characters where we only know things about them from, like, having heard secondhand and third hand, and making them carry the story, really. I mean, Marceline's there too, but she doesn't carry it either. Having them carry the story along with a bunch of other side characters that pop in is really cool and really is a testament to storytelling and how awesome Adventure Time is. How good it is at just being awesome. And I guess I'm sure there's a lot more things about this episode that you can dissect. Much like Simon and Marcy, I'm sure there's a lot of little background things and theories that you can come about because of things in this episode. But this is just a review after the first viewing. But man, was it awesome? Like that was cool. That was really a cool episode. It would have been cool to be a two-parter, but I guess seeing as this definitely isn't the finale of this, it's fine to have it just as what it is because we're gonna get more. Betty's gonna be back. You know, she explicitly says she's just buying. She turns him back into the Ice King just to buy time so she can get him back as Simon, and it's so cool. Really, really a great episode. I don't know. I don't really have anything to add. I suppose it's just solid. So with that, Five Guy Rules.